Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Success After Trauma, where we meet with and interview people about their journey through success and where they're at today on their journey of we talk to them about their journey through trauma and where they're at today on their journey of success. If we're being honest with ourselves, all of us have experienced trauma at some level, and no matter where we're at on our journey, whether we're still dealing with the trauma, whether we just got over the trauma, whether we've made it a huge amount of success, there's always someone that's one chapter behind you, and they need to hear what you have to say. If you have the courage to share your story, please connect with me at greg@gregpihs.com. Today, I have a friend of mine, a veteran, Andrew Farr. Andrew is an amazing member, a service member of the community. When I say service member, I don't just mean, he's a veteran, he's a military member, but this guy serves with his heart at all times. He's like, we were just talking about him even making sure he has time for himself. This guy is always serving the veteran community as well as the Middle Tennessee community. Andrew, tell us a little bit about yourself and a few hats that you wear in the community.
Thank you, Greg. Really good to see you. Thank you for having me. I'm honored and privileged to be a part of the Greg Pihs project. I mean, this is a big deal. We're fellow Marines. My name is Andrew Farr. I served in the Marine Corps from 2004 to 2008. I was with 3rd Battalion, 8th Marines, India Company. I was an infantry machine gunner. I deployed 3 times, 2 to Iraq, 1 on a Navy ship. I received the Purple Heart in 2006. Saw a lot of bad stuff, saw a lot of good stuff. Missed the Marine Corps. And I'm actually really honored to have Greg as a member of my VFW. He does so much you also do so much for the veterans. You are a veterans advocate yourself. And I'm just so proud of you, man. And I'm just happy to be here.
Dude, I appreciate that. I appreciate all the kind words, and it's always an honor to serve the veteran community and to help give back.
Dude,
because go ahead.
How long have we known each other? I mean, we met on the rooftop bar at Redneck Riviera, what, 4 years ago?
I think that's the number I was thinking. I think about 4 years ago.
It's a long time, man.
What's that?
As long as I've been married, man.
Is it? That's awesome.
Yeah,
I know you guys just crossed your anniversary too.
Yesterday, yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What's Katrina up to these days?
Katrina is actually at work right now. She will be joining me for our party tonight, which I'll get into later today. But she just got a raise. She just got another promotion. That's like 4 in 4 years. Like, she gets a promotion every year. She's awesome. Whatever she does at JPW e-commerce, she's killing it.
That's awesome. That's incredible. I know you guys make an exceptional power team because you guys are always dividing and conquering in different manners.
So, dude, she's taking notes from me. She's on the board of the junior league here in Murfreesboro. She's really heavily involved with the Children's Advocacy Center of Murfreesboro. Wow. She's probably going to join me in Rotary, maybe. I don't know. I gotta convince her or volunteer her to do that. So I don't know.
Well, let her. She'll come about it at her own pace. It sounds like she's already served in so many ways. So, Andrew, tell us a little bit about some of the traumas that you went through. Let me ask you specifically about if you're comfortable talking a little bit about military and wartime experience. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Of course. Yeah, of course I can.
And I want to talk because that's always I've had a couple veterans on here that have been combat veterans or are combat veterans, and it's always I love touching on that subject because we do have such a community of combat veterans out there, and all of us are on some level of our healing journey, and whoever's one chapter behind, we want them to be able to hear these things. Did you, after war, while you were still in the military, when did you got out in 2008? When was your last deployment to Iraq?
Last deployment was Ramadi in 2006, the summer of. So okay. March 2006 to October 2006.
So did you mentally struggle after your last deployment and before you got out? Or I've noticed some people, I think after leaving that brotherhood, the struggle starts to come about after getting out. What was your experience with that?
My struggle actually came after our 3rd deployment. because they're like they made me ride a desk because I got hit in July 27th, which is my anniversary is coming up of getting hit with shrapnel from an RPG. Yeah, we went on the MEU, our third deployment, and when I got out, then stuff started to roll downhill after that.
T-
I was. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, and I apologize if it's before we go into how stuff was rolling downhill. Are you comfortable sharing with us a experience from the day you collected some shrapnel?
Yeah, that was July 27th, 2006, city of Ramadi. We were on a night patrol, second squad, second platoon.
For those real quick, Andrew, I'm sorry to cut in. For those listening in, keep in mind you always check us out on YouTube. It's Success After Trauma. You can watch the video, download us on your favorite streaming platform. But for those listening in that are not familiar with Iraq, for those that are not veterans, Ramadi was the worst city in Iraq in 2006, 2007. It was absolutely a place you did not want to be. I apologize, Andrew. I just want listeners to know.
No, it's okay. You're right. It was hell on earth. We lost 17 that summer. Wow. One of my best friends, he actually he lost it. I went to a school of infantry with him in 2004, and he didn't actually come to the unit until our Ramadi deployment, and he was a KIA. He was a good friend of mine. I used to go to the Driftwood with him. And if you guys don't know what the Driftwood is, give me a call or talk to Greg.
Don't talk to me. I don't know about it.
We will tell you intimately about what the Driftwood is. And it's actually now called Platinum. They've spruced it up a little bit.
So with the name like Platinum, I think everybody's starting to figure it out.
Yeah, I think I can assume they know what it is. But yeah, we were on a night patrol. We were checking out this bank where we saw there were rumors of enemy activity. We had to go check it out. We cleared the 3 stories, came back down. There was a big old hole in the wall, so they could actually, if they even had night vision, which I believe they did, they saw us coming down, and we all mustered like down in the lobby where the bank is. I mean, the bank was like torn to shit, and they fired an RPG inside, and me and 3 other guys. See, me, Ward, Golian, me and 3 other guys got hit with shrapnel. Zach Switzer, he's in Knoxville. He got hit in the legs. I got hit in the foot. Carl Golian got peppered with shrapnel all the way up his back, so he had to actually get medevac to Balad that night. And Carl Golian, he got hit too. So 2 machine gunners, an 0351 assaultman, and an 0311. We all got hit that night. And
did that turn into a firefight, or was it just more of a?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So what is? Share with me a little about your experience. We haven't, me and you haven't had this conversation yet, but I've had it with several other combat veterans around when, and there seems to be this similarity when in firefights. I don't know the science of what's going on behind it. I'm just making some suggestions, but I think because our adrenaline goes so high, it's almost like everything becomes in slow motion.
It is. No, you're right. No, you're totally right. It felt like it was an eon, and it only was like maybe 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And it felt forever, because as soon as because as soon as we got settled, like I looked at my foot and I'm like, oh crap, I'm bleeding. And I yelled, "Hey, climb it up! I'm bleeding over here." And so they got us into the Humvee, and I was on my back, and I could remember seeing, it was just 4th of July, man. It was red tracers, green tracers, explosions, and it was all moving at like I'm talking like this, and it was like Star Wars. It was like, seriously, it was a scene out of Star Wars, and they tore that building up. I mean, I've never seen so much red in the sky. I mean, it looked like it was daylight. It was pretty traumatic. Mm-hmm. They took us to Charlie Med. The Navy doctors said that, "Oh, you'll be fine. That shrapnel will come out in the morning when you take a shower." Yeah, it's true. A little piece did, but the other piece, that big, was stuck in my foot for the next 2 years.
Mm.
I remember when I got out, I was running, I was trying to stay in shape, and my foot kept on like hurting. I was like, damn, why is my foot hurting? So I went to the VA in Charleston, and they're like, yeah, you got metal in your foot. I'm like, well, can you take it out?
Yeah,
And they
can
did.
we yeah, that's awesome.
They shaved a little bone off. They took the metal out, and I mean, I don't run anymore. I walk and do yoga and stuff like that. But I actually had that piece of metal on my mantle for a long time. I
I
opened
bet.
it a lot of times to show people, and that actually let air in. So I closed it back up, and it basically disintegrated after about 5 years. So I don't have,
Wow.
I can't show it to you. I'm sorry. If you want my DD214, you can read it. There's a, I think
Yeah.
there's an after action report. I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to
Right,
my
right.
battalion commander to see if I can get it. So if you guys want to read it, please just talk to me.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, I'm with you. I don't run anymore either. If I get a little crazy every once in a while and do a jog.
Oh, jogging. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was started in Sweden.
Yeah.
Sorry, that
Yeah.
was for Anchorman.
Yeah, I have PTSD from morning PT in
Oh
29
my gosh.
Palms.
Hey, that would give anyone that would give anyone PTSD. Seriously. I mean, even boot camp would get. I mean, PTSD, and you agree with me on this, is not just war trauma. It's
Nope.
every trauma. It encapsulates all of trauma and MST. Even getting yelled at. I mean, even when we were getting yelled at boot camp, I
Hmm.
mean, that's a stressor.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
trauma. I mean,
Absolutely.
and we don't like to judge our trauma. I mean, your trauma is different, but it's still trauma.
That's right.
I mean,
That's
but
right.
you're a grunt like me, and you saw some shit too. So
Yeah, and no, and I love that you said that. I love that you highlight that. Especially during not just veterans that as a whole, but really the Iraq War really brought a lot of awareness to PTSD that it exists. And pardon me. And that's incredible that the awareness came about because sadly you look at the Vietnam vets, they didn't even get the support that they needed, and we just like, oh hey, fine, yeah, you kill people, whatever. We still not there, but at least we now have an awareness that we're not there, and then that starts lending that awareness too. And I'm so glad that you brought it up that veterans we don't have a monopoly on PTSD. We experience a lot of it. Combat veterans experience a lot of
yeah,
firsthand PTSD stuff, no questions asked. But everyone has their trauma inside, and it's all relative. So whatever took place for you, if your mind is having let's break it down. What is trauma? What is PTSD? An event took place, and you're having trouble processing the memory. How do you
yep.
know you're having trouble processing the memory? It keeps coming back up. It's causing you trouble. It's forcing you to make decisions that later on you're regretting the decision of. This is
You know,
trauma.
you're hyper vigilant. You get spooked at noises easily. You've got this overshadowing feeling of either guilt, shame,
Mm-hmm.
remorse.
Mm-hmm.
I
I'm
mean,
glad you
it's
said that.
just. I mean, PTSD is an ass kicker. Now, dealing with it, I've had to deal with it for a long time, and I've gone to a lot of recovery, AA, Save a Warrior, CBT, EMDR, even exposure therapy. I mean, I've hit a lot of these things head on, and it's a tough battle because you've got to accept and be honest with yourself that, oh, hey, I have a problem. I might need to go out and talk to someone about this.
Wow. Thank you. That's huge. Will you share a little bit around? I want to talk about some of these modalities that we went through. I want to hear your experience. Before we dive into that,
Of
will you
course.
share a little bit around what was so during the toughest times for you, during the lowest points? What was your mindset? What were the thoughts that were going through your mind? What were the dark days?
I wanted to kill myself. I'm worthless. I'm weak. I don't have the right to live anymore. I basically hated everyone. I
Wow.
hated myself. I was
How were you getting
angry.
through day to day?
Like today?
Oh, no, 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 no. At this time, when we back up,
Oh,
where when that time existed.
um, with the bottle,
Okay.
alcohol, that actually
Okay.
helped a lot. I would turn to Jack Daniels, or if I was poor, I would go to Steel Reserve, which I if you still drink, I would definitely not suggest Steel Reserve. It is it is rot gut. It is horrible, but it's cheap,
But it's
and
cheap and it does the job, huh?
and it does the job. But back then, I was spending money. I was
So I
spending
want
all
to
my money on alcohol.
I want to hear a
Like,
little. I want to know how that kind of journey, a little bit about, if you'll share just a little bit of that journey
yeah,
with us. And I want to highlight for everyone that's listening, while Andrew shares parts of this journey with us, I want to highlight real quick. Andrew, how long have you been sober now?
4 years. It'll be 4 years. July 31st.
That's incredible, brother. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I had to go back even further. I do have the genetic disposition for alcoholism in my family. My dad, my granddad, and so it came to me. So I'm very prone to alcoholism, and so I just, I mean, we drank a lot in the core. I actually had problems in high school, in college, and then it just transferred over to the Marine Corps. We weren't home enough on my deployment regiment to drink as much as I wanted to. But when I got back, it was like every day, 6 pack, a handle of Jack. I mean, I even remember one Christmas, I went home to Savannah where having Christmas dinner with my parents, and I went out to the store like 6 times to buy more alcohol because I kept on finishing it. And my parents were like, "Andrew, are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just having a drink or two." Dude,
Wow.
I was having more than a drink or two, and it was affecting. I mean, if I had any problems whatsoever, alcohol was my first. That was my go-to. Like if I was having a problem,
Mm,
if I was stressed out, if I had an argument, I would immediately go to the alcohol. It got so bad. I was a sexton at a church, and the sexton at a church, cleans the building, um, vacuums the administration office, cleans the church, mows the grass, all that kind of stuff. I even was so bad. I even had the key to get in, and I would. And this is it's horrible, but I would take bottles of wine from the
mm,
refrigerator
mm.
of the church, and that's how bad it got. It
Wow.
was, and I was a chef. I was a chef, and chefs that were very prone to drinking. I mean, I would actually hide bottles in the walk-in where they kept the refrigerated food. And if things got tough on the line, I would be like, "Hey, I need to go get some more carrots." I would get carrots, but I would also take like 4 or 5 swigs of a bottle of wine that I had hidden in the walk-in. I mean,
Wow.
it was really bad. I was a full-blown alcoholic, and
Wow.
it affected me in every possible way, mentally, spiritually, physically. I hit all of them, and I was just not a very very nice person to be around.
So tell me a little bit about. So obviously, this was very. We can tell this was a big problem, as you said, and then I realized, as you shared, you were predispositioned to it, and then you sprinkle in a little bit of combat and things of that nature, and here we go. We got this recipe for disaster.
Yep.
Talk to us a little bit about the climb back up.
Well,
Yeah.
I tried AA. I mean, I'm still in AA, but I don't know if you know a lot about AA, but when you make the vow to be sober in an AA meeting, you get a white chip. I've got an entire box of white chips. I've tried and then failed, tried, failed, tried, failed, tried, failed. So many times I can actually fill up a cigar box filled with white chips. It actually took my second DUI and the look on my wife's face to
Mm,
actually get me to change. And I got my second DUI. Actually, the first one was in Savannah, Georgia, in 2009. After I tried to kill myself,
mm,
and the second one was in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, 4 years ago. Um, and I went to Veterans Treatment Court. the 18-month program, it saved my life. It really did. Veterans Treatment Court, if you guys don't know about it, it's for people that have drug or substance abuse problems. They will not take any they won't take any aggravated assault or domestic violence people without, on their rap sheet. But you have to do a urinalysis whenever you're called. You have to do journaling. You have to do classes. You have to meet with the judge every week and report to him on how things are going, how is life going, and that went on for 18 months. After
so that program was I attended your graduation. That was
You did.
incredible. So that program really that created you feel confident that created a foundation for you?
That created the foundation for me. Like, I thought to myself, like, I need to go out and I need to help veterans.
We might have lost Andrew for just a moment. I'm sure he'll be right back with us, and he's sharing how he went out to, after he created this foundation with the Veterans Treatment Court, he went out to begin to serve veterans. And this is right about the Veterans Treatment Court he shares is about 4 years ago. So right about the very, very start of his climb is roughly when we met each other. And as I've watched and witnessed Andrew go forth, he has just become an incredible servant, big time in the veteran community, but also just in the Middle Tennessee community. Andrew's always taken an opportunity to serve. He's part of, he's the leader of the VFW. He does, looks like we lost Andrew for a second. I'm sure he'll jump right back in here shortly. But so he's part of, he'll share some of the other groups, but part of many and many different groups where he's giving back, serving, and helping. If you're a veteran in Middle Tennessee, if you need a resource, if you need to be connected, there's no reason to feel alone. There's no obligation. There's no obligation to be part of the veteran community, and we're all in this together. It's one team, one fight. So if you need that community, you have to take responsibility. You have to be at calls in your life. You have to be willing to decide to get involved. You have to take that first step. No one can make you get involved. We can't force you to get involved. And if we did, it wouldn't help you. You have to be willing to take that first step. You have to know that there's more out there, that this is not the end, that this is just one chapter in the struggle and the journey that you're on. And that by allowing yourself to accept help, there's a community of people all over this world that understand, that want to help you, that want to serve you, that want to see you do better, that want to see you be able to build that foundation just like Andrew did through the Veterans Treatment Court. What's your foundation going to be? I don't care if you've never found one, then plug into myself or Andrew Farr, we'll plug into one. And if you tried 50 of them before, those are the 50 that didn't work. You got to try the 51st one. It looks like we're getting Andrew back, so we'll get to see what he has to say. Andrew, what's up, brother? Oh, wait, you got to get okay, you got to hop off mute. It makes you come in on mute.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. My phone was overheating because it was on the dash. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Is it a good spot now?
I had to quit. Yeah, it's fine now. I had to quickly cool it down. I'm so sorry. You can definitely edit that out. Because I was in the middle of a sentence.
Dude, I was no. And dude, I just talked the whole time. I told everyone everything about you, so we can all wrap up now. No,
okay. Right.
You started.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. You were talking about beginning. So after that foundation, then you had the mindset, hey, I want to help other people. Talk to us. Right, dive back in right there. Tell us about that.
That's correctly right. I felt like I needed to help others, and that's part of step 12 in AA is spreading the message to other people. Basically, service work, going out and helping others that suffer from the same thing. And then from there, I moved on. Oh my gosh, I moved on to wanting to help veterans and reaching out to them, or them reaching out to me, and because because our picture is in actually the Daily News Journal for that day. And Frank Caperton, God rest his soul, he took a great picture of us. And that started the foundation of me wanting to do something that's, above myself, greater than myself. And that's service work. And that's when you go out and you help people.
And I've got to witness from the background, I've got to witness the last 3.5 years of you creating this community of service, and it's been incredible. Will you share a little bit about what are some of the you've been through many, and there's some that you're still loosely affiliated. Will you share some of the top organizations that you're involved with? Obviously, one of them being the VFW.
The VFW right now is my centerpiece, my crux. But getting to where I am now, I've helped out a lot of organizations. Reverend Warriors, I was with them for 3 years. We bring veterans together using humor and camaraderie to prevent veteran suicide and promote good mental health. I
And real
did that
quick,
for a
if
while.
you're, I'm so sorry. If you're, and for those veterans listening in, no matter where you're listening from, there's hikes. They're not even just in America. They've done hikes even in other countries. But just Google Irreverent Warriors. It's a great place to plug in your local community. Keep going, Andrew.
Yep. No. I mean, Reverend Warriors. I started off. I had to actually be 6 months sober for the president of Reverend Warriors to actually give me the go ahead to do a hike in Nashville, and it took me 7 months to plan. It was 225 veterans. A lot of veterans we know went to that hike. Sean Patton, Trevor Hartz.
I met you right after, or I would have been there myself.
Yeah, no,
You,
yeah,
you
I
didn't have
know.
your
Yeah,
you didn't have your voice when I met you just because of the hike.
no. And then I was like, dang, yeah, this is awesome. And then they promoted me to district coordinator and then to regional coordinator. And after 3 years of doing this, and I actually, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I helped bring $30,000 in 3 years to the Irreverent Warrior, organization, with our fundraisers, with our sponsorships, which Alex Jimenez, my first sponsorship, my first pancake breakfast I ever did. Your buddy, our buddy, Alex Jimenez gave us money for the drinks for our first pancake breakfast. Tea, lemonade. I mean, it was awesome. He's another big supporter of veterans, and I love him. And a shout out to Alex Jimenez.
Alex Mann, great guy. AJ Nashville, if you want to check him out, that's his website, ajnashville.com. He's not a veteran himself, but huge supporter of the veteran community. And you can also look up, we've done a couple episodes with him on Success After Trauma as well. Keep going, Andrew.
Well, after IW, I kind of got back into the VFW fold. Because after my little drinking incident and my second DUI, and I'm not going to say the last place I drank because I didn't tell the police that, and I'm not going to tell it here. But I did.
It didn't happen.
It didn't happen. It wasn't at that place, 11 miles from where I'm sitting right now. It didn't happen. I swear, it didn't happen. But no, I started doing more research about the VFW and how many programs and things the VFW does is amazing. They have programs for middle school, for high school students, for college kids, for heroes that are down and out, and they need a little help. They have every genre of our life, like from middle school all the way to adults. They are helping people out, and
it's incredible.
I became an adjutant for a post here in Murfreesboro, VFW 4575. I started slow. I only put in 26 people that year.
Started slow.
Started slow. The next year, I put in 119. And then the year after that, I put in 134. And as you can see from my cap, this little number 2, if it can, state, this number 2, I am now a certified national recruiter for the VFW National for Tennessee, and each state gets 2. And that's just bringing people into the tribe, because some people, and we're going to go back to the PTSD and the crutch of my alcoholism. I did not have a tribe when I got out. I did not have a purpose. The VFW, IW, Save a Warrior, they bring the purpose back too. And VFW is a tribe of like-minded combat veterans that are trying to help their communities and help each other out.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love being part of the VFW, and I love everything you do with the VFW. I've learned so much about that organization because of you, and it's imperative that our generation keeps the VFW alive.
No, it is. It is. I'm going to take this off because I'm sweating a little bit. Um, but yeah, the VFW founded in 1899, around the Spanish-American War time. You know, they are the oldest, and I'm going to say this, and not being biased, they're the best veteran service organization in the world. No more. We do. What's our motto? No one does more for veterans than the VFW. Now, I'm biased about that, and I can't, I can't say that. I mean, I can, but there are so many other organizations out there that help out veterans. Marine Corps League, DAV, Military Order of the Purple Heart, Lone Warrior Foundation, Lone Survivor Foundation. There's
Saul?
Save a Warrior, which, by the way, if you guys are listening to this, I'm the state chaplain for Tennessee. My fund, my tithing for this year, all money that I get will go to Save a Warrior. Now, Save a Warrior is the original warrior detox program, and I'm going to get into that a little bit. They take 10 people at a time, and they teach them the skills on how to compartmentalize our PTSD. And I said that right. Thank God. I always have I have trouble with compartmentalize. We don't know where to put it because it affects us in every way. But Save a Warrior, through meditation, through CBT, through AA, through ACA, through equine therapy, ropes course, they all do this in a 72-hour period. Now, when you go through the program, or cohorts as they call it, you're not done. You've got a 500-day workbook to do after that.
That's awesome.
So the healing does not stop after the 72 hours. The healing just begins after the cohort. You've got the laundry list workbook. You've got A Course in Miracles. You get to read, and I know you're a huge reader, Greg. I mean, your library must be huge.
Yeah.
Because you read like four books a week, right?
No, I wish I could say I was doing 4 a week. I've probably done about 25 this year, and we're about halfway through the year, so that'll track me for that's about 1 a week.
That's pretty good. I mean, that's more than a lot. That's more than what I can say, because I don't read that much anymore because I read the same paragraph like 3 times, and then my head starts hurting, and then I
right.
Then I go to the audio book. I'm like, okay, I can listen to it. I'm not going to read this. I'm going to listen to it. The easy way out, right? The easier, faster way.
Well, let me just, if you don't mind, I want to intervene for those. I do a lot of audiobooks. I love to buy the hardback or the hard copy after I do the audiobook, so I have it for reference. But when we talk about it as the easy way out, I just want to intrigue. I want to offer everyone, if you can digest audiobooks, some people are primary auditory, some people are primary visual. If you're digesting books through audio, digest away. Like, do it, it's still there. It's still, you can't unhear what you're hearing when that stuff's going in.
No, you can't. And you know what? I learned by visual, and I had to relearn and retrain my brain, thanks to NLP and Greg Pihs, to actually sit down and listen to audiobooks. I never used to do it before, and now, like, on a big journey, like to Key West, I listened to 3 books.
Awesome.
We were just talking about audiobooks at my last networking event with Jim Africano and the Prohibition Institute over in Murfreesboro.
Jim's a great guy.
That's a big. Oh, you know Jim too?
I know Jim because of you, brother.
Oh, that's right. Dude, I sometimes forget how many people I've actually introduced you to. I was like, oh yeah, I did introduce you.
Yeah, Jim's a great guy. We haven't interacted in person in a long while, but we interact on Facebook.
Dude, I've got an invite to all of you. 4th of July next year at the Tiki in Murfreesboro, 4th of July. Jim did a hog this year. He's going to do it this year. We're going to be, our VFW post is going to be helping him out to make sure that we celebrate the 4th of July the right way. And
That's awesome.
he does a great spread. And that pig was cooked for 15 hours and it was like butter. It was amazing.
So tell me a little bit about your, I believe that, so Save a Warrior, correct me if I'm wrong, you would rank that one of all the modalities, because all the modality, I just want to suggest to everyone listening, if you've tried some modalities, when I say the word modality, what I mean is an avenue of therapy. So cognitive behavioral therapy, Gestalt therapy, NLP, timeline therapy, whatever, whatever, EMDR, they're all a modality of therapy, and they're all right and none of them are wrong. It's the one that you can communicate with is the one that you need in that chapter. In another chapter, you may be ready for a different modality. Okay, so that was so Andrew, so would you say right now, Save a Warrior, that was the highest, that one's kind of ranked as the highest for you? Is that accurate?
I don't want to say ranking. It takes my AA, because you go through the 12 steps in AA, and it's a building block. Like,
right.
Because we're always learning. So I guess it would be a greater contributing factor to what I've already gone through. Yes.
And thank you. I want to highlight what you just did there, and thank you. I asked you to rank it, and you said, I don't want to rank it, but it was a higher contributor. Thank you. Because when we rank,
where I got that from?
Who'd you get that?
NLP.
NLP. That's awesome, because it's not,
because
one's not, and that's awesome, man. One's not better than the other. Like, this is not better than that one, because if this one works for you, they're on the same playing field. And so well said. Tell us a little bit about.
No, you're right. You're totally right.
Tell us a little bit about your journey through Saul. What were, or you can tell us the journey through, or what I'm looking for is afterwards. What were some of the things that were like, I can't see that the same no more. Like, this has changed. What were some of those like aha moments for yourself and your trauma?
The whole thing was they sit you down, 10 people in a chair, and you're in chairs. So it's for firefighters, it's for Leos, it's for first responders, and for veterans, and because they go through, sometimes even more trauma than we do.
Oh yeah.
I mean, going into a burning building.
Oh yeah.
In a firefight I would say probably about those are traumatic events. Those are right up there.
Yeah, and first responders, I mean, we don't think about it, but their job day in, day out is to see emergency situations and handle them.
They have to train people. They see dead people all the time.
Yeah.
They see a lot of stuff. Like, we saw that in combat in our 4 years. These guys see it every day.
Every day. Yeah.
And they have to deal with it. I don't know how they deal with it, but they have to process it. And Save a Warrior helps. They put you in this it's this bottle. Basically, they take away your cell phone. You're not allowed to use your cell phone the entire time. They put you up for 3 days. They basically, you've got bunks, and the first thing you have to do every morning, and this Rear Admiral, he said it to a graduating class, the first thing you got to do when you wake up in the morning, make your bed.
You got to make the bed. That's your first commitment. That's your first accomplishment.
First accomplishment is making a bed, and then you go down. You do your 18 minutes of meditation. There's 3 different sections of 6 minutes and 40 seconds, and you do the first 6 minutes 40 seconds is breathing, and then you do the finger tap. That's the second, and then you do deep breathing is your last one, and you can feel your thoughts coming in, and you've got to you've got to have Zen mind. You've got to have no thoughts, and if you have a thought coming up, you got to just dismiss it and just focus on your breathing. And then they go through the class. They go through all this stuff that you pick up in AA and ACA, and they combine it in a way that you can understand. I'm
Yeah.
basically for us Marines out there, they Barney style CBT and all of the different modalities that you were talking about.
Mhm.
They don't rank them. They kind of take one from one modality, they take another from another modality, and it works.
That's awesome.
And the biggest thing that I took from Save a Warrior is drifting. It's because when you drift, you're in trouble. Because if you
Yeah.
are drifting from your path and you have a path, like they basically say New York to LA, and it's like a flight. And if your path is to LA from New York, and you drift from that path, you have either got to get back on the path or you've got to figure out a way to not drift as much. But
Well,
we always drift.
Well, and the thing, most people don't realize, we know even, the biggest thing that I recall and related to is shooting at the range. But the same thing with that flight. If my hand right here is the tip of my rifle and I'm shooting down range at 100 yards, if my tip is off this much, I miss by this much. But at 500 yards, if I'm off by this much, I miss the whole entire paper.
Yep.
When we're off by 1 degrees and a decade passes us by, we end up in a whole different place than we ever wanted to, just being off by 1 degree.
Yeah.
And meditation, I've found out only recently in my life. I've only added meditation in my life within the last 8 months, and it's been absolutely incredible. It's that place once a day where we recenter to true north. You're gonna drift every day. You're gonna drift. We're humans. That's what we do. You're gonna drift.
Yep.
Don't try to not drift. Know that you're drifting and know where true north is. So every day you're get back here. No, over here. That's incredible.
You take those thoughts, these thoughts that come in every day, and you have to, either accept them or dismiss them. And Save a Warrior, basically the two tenets that come out of Save a Warrior: you're not going to want anything from anybody, and you're going to tell the truth. Because and that's like, hey, can I borrow $25? And it's that asking. And that need for I need this to do this. No, you don't need anything. You don't have to do anything. And my mom used to say that to me all the time when she was doing hot yoga in Savannah. She's like, yeah, she'd always tell me this: you don't have to do anything. And I'm like,
you didn't get it back then, huh? Oh, did you?
Yeah, well, no, I didn't. I that's my mother, man. I'm not going to listen to. I've been listening to her for 44 years. I'm still an angst 16-year-old. I'm like, I'm not going to. Mom has no idea what she's talking about. And you know what? And you know what?
She actually talking about, though.
She knows what she's talking about. And I'm sorry, Mom, if you're listening to this, which you're not, because you don't do social media. I mean, she doesn't like Facebook, and she's she hates social media. I have to get her to help her out with her phone. And I'm like, Mom, I don't even know how to use a phone. I mean, come on.
You're like, I'm trying to figure it out.
I mean, I'm still trying to figure out Facebook.
So if someone, okay, so let me ask you for two people. So one, for that veteran that's listening, that they might say, hey, Save a Warrior might be for me. Or what about that person that wants to get involved, whether it be through sponsorship or whatever it is? Where can I know that you're not directly affiliated with Save a Warrior. I know you've just been through the program, but do you know where a link is that people could go find out more information?
SaveAWarrior.org. And actually, I have been asked to be a sponsor in the Save a Warrior program. I actually took my first Air Force veteran through the 12 steps. I'm not going to give you his name. They don't do it like traditional AA, but they do have an AA program for the Save a Warrior. They want these guys to be dry wood. Now, when I say dry wood, they are accepting, they are leaned in, they are ready to heal themselves. Awesome. They are ready to listen to what they have to say, which I swear, after the 72 hours and the drive home from the Warrior Village in Ohio, my mind
like an awakening, huh?
Was blown. I look at things differently. They actually they get you to watch movies, the Silver Linings Playbook and Castaway, and you have to look at that. And our problems, they are embodied into the whale. Like, okay, if you guys remember Castaway. Okay, he's got Wilson. He's on the raft. He's got Wilson that he's already lost going out to sea. Okay, it's between Wilson or the raft. What is he going to choose? He chooses to better himself and to save himself other than Wilson. And that is very powerful, because Wilson is just a figment. Wilson is a figment of his imagination. It's a volleyball with hair going out and a bloody face. But he chooses, because then he thinks to himself, oh, he's imaginary. He's not real. I need to preserve myself so I can go on and help other people.
And we create and we hold imaginary truths non-stop.
Exactly. Yes. God, you get it. You get it, dude. You get it.
And like, to the people that's listening that say, no, this is a real problem. If you have something that has to be addressed, address it, put a boundary in place. Do that. Okay. To everything else that you've been holding on to for the last 5, 10, 15, and 20 years, first and foremost, let me say, I don't know what you went through. And it had to be monumental. You're allowed to let it go.
And you know what? You bring up a very good point with that, Greg. You don't know what you don't know. Like, when you're talking with people, you don't know what they've been through. You can't make assumptions. You can't make judgments of what people are going through. You just don't know what you don't know.
The weight that they're carrying, or what chapter they're in.
Exactly. And that comes back to the second movie, Silver Linings Playbook, which is an amazing movie, by the way. At the end when he's got that note, have you seen it? Have you seen Silver Linings Playbook?
I don't think I've seen that one. I definitely seen Castaway, but I don't think I've seen the Silver Linings Playbook.
Bradley Cooper, definitely a must is Silver Linings Playbook, because he's carrying around this note that he has not even looked at, but he doesn't know what he doesn't know about this other person. And when he reads it, he's like, oh, and the light bulb comes on. They're like, that's what that person was going through. Well, sometimes you've got to go and you've got to use your step 10, or I would use my step 10 in AA, and immediately understand that I was in the wrong and I would have to go apologize. And that's what step 10 is. It's your checklist for every day. If you've wronged someone, or if you think you owe an apology to someone, step 10, like, you'll go back, like, this is what I do. Like, after a day and I'm sitting in my bed after my meditation, and it helps me get to that point. Maybe I've wronged someone today. Maybe this person is owed an apology. Maybe I need to make amends to this person. Maybe I treated him wrong. Maybe, and that step 10 is basically, it's a checklist from the step 4, because step 4 is your moral injuries and your resentments. Step 4 is you do once and you're done. Step 10 is once and you do it every day. Like, you do it once a day, and you're like, who did I make upset today?
Because
who do I owe apologies to?
When we clear that slate, life is in session, and we are humans, and we are good at messing this thing up.
And you know what? And then life becomes better.
It does. And it's all, it really boils down, or in my opinion, it really boils down to humbling ourselves. Our ego gets in the way, because we want to be right. We want to be all the things, everything that we think is true. We want everyone else to believe to be a truth as well. But everything we think to be a truth only is a truth with the data that we've had up till now. Mark Manson said, he wrote the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F, which is a really good book if you haven't read it yet.
Great book. Actually, I was just looking at that cover yesterday.
He said in that book, in 500 years we'll understand truths we never understood, and they'll still be wrong. Don't hold what you believe to be a truth with a death grip. Hold it tightly. No. Those things that you believe to be true, I didn't say, hold them tightly, and always be willing to evaluate them, because if you find out it's not a truth, wouldn't you like to let it go as soon as you find out it's not a truth? Hold everything loosely.
Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
Love it. I love it.
Yes, I would.
So okay. So Andrew, let's talk about, as we get into wrapping up, what are your words of advice for, so now that you've done an incredible journey. I've got to watch the last 4 years. You now serve the veteran community.
Thank you.
What do you say what would your message be to that veteran and or civilian that is struggling, they haven't had that breakthrough yet. They're still fighting each day over and over again. What do you say to them? What can you say to them around when you were there? You now understand some things that they don't understand yet. What do you share back with them?
It's one thing that I picked up from AA early in my AA journey. Um, Ask yourself, are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Like, you're at the bottom of the barrel, and I've been there. I've tried to kill myself, and I've been at the lowest in my life. And the only way, if you're at that low, there's only one direction you can't go. You can't go any lower. You can't. All you can go is up. But you need to take that step and admit to yourself and be honest. Maybe I need some help. Maybe I need to reach out to my battle buddy. Maybe I need to reach out to, one of my old veteran friends. Maybe I need to reach out to my wife and be like, hey, I need help, hon. What can I do? And I have no remorse asking for help. I don't. If I don't know the answer, I will tell someone. I'm like, well, I don't have the answer, but you know what? I know someone who does, and I will get you in touch with him. And usually it's Greg Pihs.
That's funny. I love all the connections. I love that though. Allow yourself to be receptive. Allow yourself to receive. People want to help you. Don't worry about that if you haven't found the person or you don't think that's true. Don't worry about that. Just let's just pretend for a second. People want to help you. Allow yourself to be receptive. I love that. I love that, brother. If someone was wanted to connect with you a little bit deeper around your story, maybe they want to share their story with you, or maybe they want to get involved with one of the organizations you're involved in, where can people reach out to you at?
They can email or text me at 615-490-5715. I don't mind talking to anyone. Just don't call after 9:30 or my wife gets pissed. Or you can go on to I've got a couple emails, but vfw12206@gmail.com. That goes right to me. Or VOLS, Victor Oscar Lima Sierra 266@gmail.com. I'm always open to listen to you. I'm a peer certified resource specialist. I'm an ordained minister. I don't know everything. And I'm the first one to admit I do not know everything. I'm not a know-it-all. I'm not a micromanager, but I will listen to anything that you have to say. Look at our website. I'm the VFW state chaplain. Going on the VFW Department of Tennessee page. I'm also the Southern Conference chaplain. So you can find us on VFW Southern Conference on Facebook. You can get with our president of that conference. He will get it to me. But I'm always here to listen to anyone, veteran, civilian, firefighter, police man or woman. It doesn't matter. You can be a yak and I will talk to you.
I love it, brother. I appreciate having you on and everything you shared and everything that you stand for. For everyone listening, tell your friends so we can share people's stories and impact other people and help as many people as possible. You can download and listen to us from your favorite podcasting streaming platform. And if you're just listening to the audio, you can check us out on YouTube. It's Success After Trauma. Like and subscribe to the channel so you can get notified of new episodes. Be great. It's already
Greg.
Yeah.
Greg, 1 second. Can I plug one more thing? Just it's a shameful plug. Lieutenant Commander Matthew Wiz Buckley. He's in Florida, Boca Raton. He's one of our VFW members, comrade. And he was a Top Gun instructor and fighter pilot. He has a new nonprofit organization called No Fallen Heroes. And he's done this journey with a bunch of pilots as well as special operators such as Marcus Luttrell and whatnot. And it's called No Fallen Heroes because pilots, they suffer a lot of trauma as well. Mm-hmm. But he wants to take this to another level where everybody can be a part of this. So nofallenheroes.org, and Matthew Wiz Buckley on Facebook. Don't ask me about the whiz part, but that's his nickname that he got as a pilot. I think he peed his pants when he took his first Harrier flight. I'm not sure. You're gonna have to ask him. But Greg, he is a great person to talk to, and he's got a lot of stuff going on. You might want to reach out to him if you want, and talk to him about all of his stuff that he's doing.
Okay, super awesome. I sure will. I appreciate you plugging that in. If you're a veteran out there listening, make sure you get an opportunity to check that out. And we'll catch you on the next episode. Be great. It's already in you.